Hi, I'm going to walk through a content validation report really quick. So Michael went through each of the courses, thank you Michael, and eliminated any information that we didn't need. And then this report that we have has some information helpful for course builders and also for program directors. So we have them right here in the KP folder under Soul, KP projects with today's date. So some of the courses that are not finished, you might notice gaps in them, and then others that are filled in, you might want to look it over just to see the specifics of each section. So I've pulled two examples here. This is 255, and you'll see the assignment. And I would say the ones that you're really going to want to focus on is going to be whether or not it has content or not. So this one in particular has everything good to go there. And then you're going to jump right into the intro, learning, questions, and summary. So you definitely don't want any zeros here. So if you had something like that, that might be something that wasn't published in the back end, or maybe a SME forgot it. They're still working on it. So I would just go through and highlight things as you find them. Also, if you have a whole bunch of learning sections, realize it is going to flag that as an issue. So usually when there's two, it would be the main learning section and the alt content. If there's something like 4 or 5 learning sections, the course builder and the PD would want to take a second look at that and see what's going on there. It's cool to see the number of videos, but not necessarily something important for QA. The number of questions is very important because students need at least a 75% to go forward. So we would need at the very least 3 to 4 questions. Anything less than 4 is really problematic because they would have to get all of them correct. If there were 2, for example, they'd have to get a 100. And the more questions, the better in a sense, because you're making a question bank or a pool, and that way it randomizes when they pull. So 5 is really what we tell our SMEs, but it's always great when they add a couple extra to randomize them. Whether or not it validates will be something the course builders look at, and then the errors all the way to the right over here will tell you if there are too many words in a section, so it'll flag if you don't put enough parts in it, like some of the words to be split up. Whether it thinks it's a little bit too long of a learning section, it might flag that. Not necessarily something you need to change, it's just something that Realize It is telling you about your course. Like this specific part has 500 words. You might be fine with that, but that's something that Realize It would want you to go in and take a look at. So you could just scroll through some of the errors and see if there's anything that's very problematic. Like maybe this one has 2,600 words where all the other ones are seemingly in the 1,500 range, or this one has 4,400 words. You might just want to take a look at that and see if it should be split up into another node or maybe chop down a little bit. So you could go through and highlight the way I did here, and then I guess tag your course builder, or however you want to communicate with your team to fix some of these during the course check process before they go live. Let's look at this communications one really quick. So this one I picked because the course hasn't been fully built yet, and I wanted to show you that it kind of leaves this gap here that has no needs content for each of the sections. So it's in a way as granular as the chart that Jeremy had set up for the MTEL reading QA, because it has intro, learning, question, summary. You can see everything of where everyone's at in the building process. That one in particular has a week missing, but you can see that there are, right here, this one's I think the question section. So that would be something that we'd want to circle back to. I'm guessing this one didn't come in at all, but that would be a red flag in mine. So I would freeze this row and scroll through and just look at the errors, the number of questions, make sure all the learning sections are in place and that everything that needs to have content has content. All right, circle back to me or Jeremy with questions anytime. Thank you.